ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب المبين إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن
I don't know how good this video is gonna do. I actually have, like, I'm not even using a mic at this point, so I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna try to hold my cool in this video because I typically don't, I'm gonna be honest, I typically don't like the people that have this mindset of I need motivation for everything. I need motivation to go to the gym. I really dislike this kind of people, and the reason why is because it's just ungratefulness to Allah, let's be honest here. But I used to watch a lot of these videos before. I used to watch a lot of videos where I remember this one guy, this Division 1 athlete on YouTube. He was doing day in the lives of a Division 1 athlete, a football player, American football player on YouTube. And I first saw him because I just moved to my new house, like this house. I moved to it like 3 years ago. You know, new house, no friends here. All my friends are back in my old city and everything, so everyone's far away, alright? And I had nothing else to do. I'm like, might as well, you know, let's try to become disciplined. So I tried becoming disciplined. So I saw this guy on YouTube. He's super disciplined. He's waking up at 5 a.m. He's doing this. You know, he's grinding in school, but he's also, you know, getting jacked in the gym, and he's also a Division 1 athlete, and all of this. So he's killing it. He's improving. And I see this, and I'm like, you know, I gotta copy him. So my grade 12 year started, like my 12th year of high school, my last year. I'm like, you know what, might as well make this my best year. And so I tried becoming disciplined. So the next day, I woke up at 6 a.m. I copied pretty much word for word, image by image, what he did, and I tried keeping up with him. 2 days later, I gave up because it got extremely hard. So I tried becoming disciplined, but I gave up 2 days later. What that showed me and what that taught me was that motivation kept me alive for 2 days, and then when that motivation ran out and when the pain of discipline started to come to me, like when I started feeling hurt, like when discipline started not to feel good anymore, you know, like, because discipline is not necessarily, it doesn't feel good. Come on, let's be honest, who actually likes doing work? And so when that came to me, when the pain of discipline appeared in front of my eyes, I don't know why I said it like that, but what that turned into was pretty much me giving up. I have a few key topics that I want to speak about that I feel like could help you if you're someone who's not motivated in this life. If you're someone who is waiting for motivation, or if you're someone who seeks motivation, I think this video will help you. I remember Andrew Tate saying yesterday, if you truly wanted something, of course the way Andrew Tate said it, if you truly wanted something, you would have had it already. You know what I mean? The way Andrew Tate says it. But if you truly wanted something, you would have had it already. Or at least you'll be working for it. Let's be honest here. If you truly wanted to make money or become rich, or if you truly wanted to get jacked in the gym, you would have been working towards it already. If you truly wanted it deep down in your heart. But let's be honest here. We see, like, there's a different kind, like as Andrew Tate said, there's different kinds of wants. One of the want is, yeah, I want it. Like, I want to be jacked, but do you want to be jacked? You know what I mean? Like, there's one type of want where you want to be jacked because you just see how cool it is. But like, it's like, for me, for example, for me, I want to go to Los Angeles, but do I want to go to Los Angeles? Not really. Because if I really wanted to do it, I would have done it, or I would have been working towards it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's like, do you want whatever you're trying to do? And if you were honest with yourself, you probably didn't. You probably don't. Because you would have been working towards it. If you're someone who can't feel motivated, right, to do something, then technically you don't really want to do it as bad as you, like, deep down. Like, it's not like a need. You see all the hardest workers out there, right? Why do you think they don't wait for motivation? Have you thought about that? Why do you think they don't care about motivation? And the reason is because they want it. Like, they want what they want to do. They actually, like, it's almost like food for them. It's like, without it, they can't survive, sort of thing. So they need it. It's more than a want now. And so we have to sort of get to that position if you want to actually stop being motivated. Yeah, I can give you a few tips like, I don't know, just journal every morning or something. Like, let's be honest here. Let's get to the fundamentals. Do you want what you want? Do you truly want it or not? You know? So think about it. Let's be honest here. Most of us that are unmotivated are the ones that are the most privileged. I can say this from experience. I'm saying this from my words. I was very unmotivated for most of my time, and I didn't want to do any of the work, and I wasn't disciplined for most of my life. The reason was because I'm ungrateful to Allah. Astaghfirullah. And that's the truth. That's a blatant truth. I was ungrateful to Allah. Because if you think about it, the people that are the most unmotivated, they're the ones who are the most privileged. They're the ones who have the most opportunity, or they get the most opportunities. For example, let's be honest here. The people that that get the most pleasure and the most gifts, they're the ones who ends up wanting more and more and never content, right? The spoiled kid, for example. That's a great example. The spoiled kid. The spoiled kid gets whatever he wants, and yet he's still so ungrateful that he wants more, right? And he's never content. For us, like, the reason why we're unmotivated, despite having so much, I have everything I need to become the biggest content creator, and yet I'm not working hard enough. That's what I think about myself. And I'm sure you have a laptop, you have a Wi-Fi connection, you're probably in summer break right now. If you're not in summer break, you probably have a lot of time. You have a phone, like, you have these devices that could make you billions of dollars if you truly want it. Again, let's be honest here. This is the I'm talking about opportunity here. I'm not saying that you're gonna make $1 billion, but you have the opportunity here to make, or just to build a following. Like, I took my laptop, and instead of playing games, I decided to make videos on YouTube. And whether you like them or not, I don't know. I hope you do like them. But it's more so like I built sort of a following, right? It's not a huge following yet, inshallah, but I'm grinding towards that. However, again, as I'm speaking about, we've been giving so many opportunities. A lot of us have been giving the opportunity of time. For example, for me, I'm not doing a job right now, right? So I have so much time just to grind, and I'm not working hard enough. That's my issue, right? And it's just, we get so much opportunities from Allah. Allah gives us so much opportunities, and yet we're not taking advantage of them, and we're not actually using it to our best advantage. It's like the gun example, right? Like, it's like you can either save the world with a gun, or you can either destroy the world with a gun. You know what I mean? So you can destroy yourself with a laptop by wasting your time, by doing nothing except playing games and stuff like that, or you can use the laptop and run a business with it, or make videos on YouTube, or do something. You know what I mean? Another thing I remember about motivation is that motivation doesn't just appear out of nowhere like alakazam. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't come out of nowhere like some magic. Motivation comes after you do something. So if you're someone who's waiting for motivation to start something, for example, if I waited for motivation to make this video, I would have never made the video. However, and this is literally real world example, me right now, or I'll give you some real world truth right now that's happening at this moment while I'm making this video. I'm feeling more motivated right now after starting the task, if that makes sense. Let me explain. So motivation doesn't come like at the beginning. Like, you don't wait for motivation to start something. Instead, you start something because you're disciplined. So you start something regardless. So you just do it, and then you realize that while you were doing something, for example, you have homework to do, right? While you are doing your homework, you will actually feel more motivated if you immerse yourself properly into the homework. Like, you'll get the motivation after you start your action, but you have to take the action first, and then the motivation will come. But most people have it backwards, where most people wait for the motivation to take the action. But then, since the motivation never comes, they don't take the action, if that makes sense. So motivation only comes, and inspiration, like, you feel more inspired to do something. For example, I feel more motivated to make this video right now than I was at the starting of the video. You probably noticed by my voice got a little bit more energetic, even though it's the morning and everyone's sleeping. The truth of the matter is, motivation only comes after you start a task. It doesn't come before, just so you remember. A great example I can think about is the runner's high. The runner's high is an amazing example, because it's like, you probably don't feel like going on a run. Okay, maybe you feel like going on a run, like after you watch Creed. But again, that proves my point. If you watch a movie like Rocky or Creed, where they're running for boxing training, a lot of people feel motivated, especially me. Like, I feel motivated when I watch those videos, when I watch boxing videos, when I watch these types of videos. And so what you have to notice is that because you watched a movie, then that motivation came. But you weren't motivated to watch the movie, if that makes sense. You just took action. That proves my point. Most people don't look forward to going on a run, but while they are running, there's something called runner's high, where you just get this burst of motivation of just I'm gonna push myself so much while running. Search up runner's high. You'll probably understand and know what it is. And you probably know what that is already. That is motivation. It comes after you start running. It doesn't come it doesn't come before you run. Also think about it. We're sitting here doing absolutely jack. We're doing nothing, right? Nothing with our lives. We're unmotivated. Oh my god, I need help. I need help to go to the gym. Let's be honest here. We're actually disgracing our family and just the human race in general. And most of all, we're disgracing Allah. Allah created us, especially us men, with this innate ability to pretty much do whatever we want in terms of within the Sharia, within the law, of course. But like, bro, we have all the testosterone and the energy. We have like so much. We have the ability to grow muscle like no one else can, and yet we don't do it. Right? It's like we've been given the task of being the provider, of doing the work, doing the hard labor jobs, doing any job, controlling the job market because we're the ones who actually lead, and yet we've become the ones that are so feminine and so weak, if that makes sense. We're actually disgracing our ancestors that probably killed saber-toothed tigers out in the wild to survive. I don't know, I'm just guessing. They went out to hunt. Like for example, it's the morning right now. I have food readily in my house. My fridge is over there and I can open that and quickly get food. But 1,000 years ago, or even before then, like whatever, hundreds of thousands of years ago, thousands of years ago, humans didn't even get that. Humans had to go outside to hunt for food. If they felt hungry, oh well, I have to go hunt. I could literally get food in a like in a second right now. But humans back then needed to go out and get food. So do you think they had motivation? Oh, I'm gonna get motivated to kill a saber-toothed tiger. Like, do you think they had motivation? No, they just went because they needed food. They needed to survive or else they would die. And so we're actually disgracing them because they risked their lives and a lot of them died for us to come into the bloodline thousands of years later to sit on our asses and do jack and literally just play video games all day and pretend, oh, I'm not motivated to go to the gym. Are we actually serious? I wish we can hear ourselves, like me and you, the people that like, specifically the people that say they're not motivated. I wish they can hear themselves when they say that out loud. I'm not motivated to go to the gym, or I'm not motivated to do my homework. Like, I really wish they could hear themselves out loud. That is very embarrassing in my opinion. We're kind of we're just disgracing the human race, and no wonder why we don't get any hasanat or barakah from Allah. Why? We don't deserve it. We truly don't deserve it. Bro, the people of Palestine would literally do anything to switch places with us in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat of a second. We act like we're here talking about, oh, how can we help our brothers and sisters in Palestine? How can we help them? How can we assist them, just not donating. How can we do more than donating? How can we perform jihad or something? While we're sitting on our asses playing video games while they're being bombed. Like, bro, let's be honest here, G. Best way to help them is to first help ourselves first so we can become strong enough to help them later. Boycotting it's okay. Yeah, of course, perform boycotting. I agree. If you just boycott and don't fix yourself, then alright, we're back into the game. My camera died. So yeah, anyways, we're back in the game. As I was saying, the kids of Palestine would do so much right now. Like, they would do so much in a heartbeat to change positions with us, to switch positions with us. And so we're honestly, bro, we need to, like, do we need motivation? The fact that we're so blessed, that should tell us that we should make the most out of the life that we've been given. Because honestly, we have so much potential. You have so much potential. I have so much potential because we've been given the stuff that others haven't been given, if that makes sense. We have so much potential because of the fact that we've been given so much, but since we're so ungrateful, that's why we don't take advantage of that potential, because we still believe we have nothing. The fact that you're unmotivated shows the fact that you're ungrateful to Allah. I'm sorry, bro. I know this sounds harsh, but this is not supposed to be an easy video. The truth always hurts, let's be honest here. And so the reason why we're unmotivated in life is because we're ungrateful to Allah. The fact that the blessings He gave us, the fact that He made us male with testosterone, right? That, even the most fundamental part, we're so ungrateful for. But let's take in the kids of Palestine. Let's let's take in all the accounts of all the people of Syria and so many countries that are suffering that would do anything to switch places with us in a heartbeat, and yet we're unmotivated to go to the gym and improve ourselves, even though improving ourselves will change our lives forever, because improving ourselves is what makes us better as humans. So we even hesitate to make ourselves better. That's how ungrateful we truly are. I'm sure you want to be someone who's remembered. I'm sure you want to be someone who had a significant impact on his life. I'm sure you want to be someone who's acknowledged. I'm sure you want to be someone who is the best version of himself, the most successful version of himself. I'm sure you want to be someone who looks the most confident, who's the most jacked. I'm sure you want to be that. And that requires you to stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for that one moment to change your life and take some action right now. I'm telling you right now, there's nothing else you can do. The motivation that you're waiting for will never come, and it's either you want to live a good life or you want to be forgotten forever, just living a regular life. If that's what you truly want to do, then be it. But I know most of us, we don't want to live a regular life. We would rather be successful. If we were handed $1 million for free, we would have taken that anyways, right? So when people say, "Oh, I just want to be a normal person," no, that's a lie. You don't want to be a regular person, because if you were given $1 million, you would have taken it. But we just don't want to go through the pain and the hardship of working hard. But you know what's interesting? All the successful people that you see online, the Sahaba, not even online, sorry, in history, the Sahaba, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all the other Anbiya, all the other prophets, all the successful men, they all had something in common, or they had some few things in common. Number one, they had a driving desire to achieve success. Number two, they actually wanted to achieve success. They didn't just want it, they wanted it. Number three, they took action and didn't care about motivation. And number four, and the most common trait, is discipline. They did the work when they didn't feel like doing the work. Cristiano Ronaldo trained all day. I'm sure he didn't want to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning and train, or 5 a.m. in the morning and to go to the gym, but he did it regardless. Any other successful person, I'm sure they didn't want to do what they wanted to do, but they did it anyways, because that's how life works. Duh. And so they all had something called discipline. That's what they had in common. Every single one of them. Discipline is the opposite of motivation. Motivation is when you wait for something, like when you feel motivated to do something. Discipline is when you do it regardless. And so instead of waiting for motivation, I think what the next best step for me and you is to start becoming more disciplined. And you'll realize that the more disciplined you become, because you took the action to become more disciplined, motivation will also come at the same time. So you'll be motivated and disciplined at the same time. So you'll literally be 10 times or who you are right now. And since motivation goes away, when your motivation goes away, you'll still be disciplined enough to go finish your work. So the key is to start becoming disciplined and to become the best version of yourself. It's a lot easier than you could think of. You're thinking of waking up at 5 a.m. and going out for a run, but being disciplined doesn't mean that. Being disciplined just means doing the work when you're not supposed to do the work. Being disciplined just means if my sweater drops on the floor, instead of being a lazy prick and ignoring it, I would be disciplined enough to pick it up and to put it back where it's supposed to be. That's what discipline is. The small things in life. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. You build up to that. You're not at that level yet. You're gonna wake up at 5 a.m. and go out for a run and go to the gym, whatever. Discipline is when you have to do what you have to do, especially when you don't feel like doing it. So if you have to go to the gym, because as men we truly have to push ourselves and push our body and build our muscle and become disciplined and become confident and just look good and stop being a fat prick, then we know we should be going to the gym regardless of how we feel. So we should just go to the gym. And just to end it off, I'm sure the Sahaba didn't feel like fighting the battle of Badr. I'm sure the Sahaba didn't feel like fighting the battle of Badr that day. When they were fasting, when they had zero energy or very low energy, I'm sure, because they were fasting. And so if they just waited for motivation, they would have lost the war, number one. Number two, we wouldn't be here, the Muslim population wouldn't be here. Number three, they wouldn't have done anything. They wouldn't have won if they waited for motivation. But you know what's interesting? I'm sure, and of course I have to read more about the Battle of Badr, but I'm sure the moment the Sahaba started riding their horses towards the enemies, when the enemies the two meet, the Sahaba are here, the enemies are here. When they're about to clash, I'm sure the moment they're about to clash, that's when the motivation started to come. The adrenaline, the motivation started to rush through the Sahaba's head. you know, like, oh my god, I'm about to fight a war, let's go, and they started screaming. So you realize in real action that motivation comes after you take action. I'm sure the Sahaba got more of a rush right when they're about to clash with the enemies, right when they're about to take the sword and, you know what I mean? That's when they got that rush, their blood started to warm up. If they didn't take action, that motivation wouldn't have came anyways. And if they didn't take action, and if they weren't disciplined enough to fight the war, then we wouldn't be here and Muslims wouldn't exist. And so this proves to you that we need discipline and not motivation. And even if this is cliche advice, most people think it's something else. I'm just giving you the truth, it's just discipline. So take it for what it is. Thank you for drinking coffee with me. And yeah, more videos come out. This is just a quick little video I just recorded, but yeah, assalamu alaikum, bye, love you.